Was gone for an entire week between Connecticut and SEMA, and there was a lot that happened at the shop. Mike got with the boys, recorded everything that went down with a bunch of the builds. The supercharger stuff is showing up any day now for the NSX, and it is going to be wild. So if you haven't gotten your entries already, every $5 you spend on lzmfg.com gets you entered for a chance to win. Once you hear this thing supercharged, you're gonna wish you entered sooner. So make that happen and enjoy the video that the guys put together for you.
What's up? We kicked Adam out of the shop. And we are taking charge of the shop, especially with the Supra. We got some SGK parts, one of those being doors. Adam decided to go with the carbon Kevlar doors from SGK, and they're extremely light. So they're made out of carbon Kevlar, which is very flexible. And then the inserts on the inside is carbon fiber. It has revisions for the door windows, if you want to keep windows, cutouts. I cut this out for the stock dash to fit it up, but it has all the necessary holes for the stock door mechanism to work, even the imprint for the door. So it's pretty straightforward, just a lot of cutting, grinding, and trimming. The door is gonna get spray painted to match the car. Unfortunately, as cool as it looks, but it'll still look rad, and it's light as hell.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. So here's the door mounted. You literally one finger. It's so light that it doesn't require that much to open it. All the stock components that I was talking about, the bolts, the hardware where it mounts,
Yep.
the stock door mechanism,
Door handle's sick.
works pretty good. Yep. We got the rough cut with the air jigsaw. Then I'll grab this Dremel tool to fine tune it and cut it to the line. And then I could fit up the door handle. Once it goes in smoothly, I'll move on to the door hinge. Look at that. The trick is this to align up in there. So I'll get it on there and make sure it fits pretty good. But once you have to install the unit, you gotta put everything together.
Yeah.
Now that we got the door handle on, the doors, the new ones, don't have the locations for the bolts to hold the lock mechanism. I use a tape to put over this section like that. Then you can mark your areas, mark it like that. Then I make an imprint on this to give me an area to cut. I mark center here, and then mark center here. That will give me the location for the hardware. But then over here, I cut around this piece. I leave that on top so that the tape stays. So then we take this, bring it over to the door, put it on there, mark our holes, and then we can mount the lock mechanism. So on this side, I use the template, line it up roughly where it's gonna sit, roughly there, and then I'll drill the holes. All this is in place. Now we hook this up, put everything else on, and move on to the next thing, which is the door. So now we're onto the door handle inside the car. The stock door panels are like fabric. This whole unit comes out. And the way you do that is by removing these two bolts, but then they threw a left ball, curve ball,
Left hook.
left hook, a knuckleball, a fastball, whatever you want to call it. Not only do you have to remove those two
Are they plastic
ports?
welded in there?
Yeah, they're plastic welded the thing on. So
That's annoying.
remove the bolts, those ports come out easily. They look
you
like
gotta
it look
drill
like they
it out.
dropped some beads on there. So then you just grab a Dremel, a drill bit or flap this, and you just eat away at those parts, and then it falls right off. Not easy. comes right off. Kind of annoying, but some of these have to get trimmed down anyways to fit over the carbon piece because it's not perfectly molded to hold this piece.
Yeah.
But just enough so that the exterior line fits pretty nice on the piece.
We've had some trying times, Mike. We've had hurricanes, floods, wildfires. It takes its toll. The silver lining in all those mishaps is that, you know, hurricanes have a way of stimulating an economy. So thanks to Hurricane Ian, you're now looking at the proud new lead custodial sheriff of the LZ compound. What that means, I want to be honest, it's my first day on the job. I just don't know. One can assume I take the tractor out. I use a forklift once in a while. Maybe even I'll use the scrubber. Michael, I like the scrubber.
Well, we don't have to name call. Been hiding from you all day. Let me get a peek.
I walk away for 3 hours and then this is what I walk into.
You ain't filming this, that's for damn sure.
Mike has the camera.
We kicked
What is that thing? What's the name from that
Mayor Rivera will kill me.
that movie? From I'm the captain now.
No.
I know
Captain
it.
Phillip or
Captain
something?
Phillip.
Yeah.
I'm captain. No, I'm the guy.
God, John.
Touch it.
What?
Look at the thing in the tip.
Yeah, bro. What is
From
that?
you.
Oh, that thing. That's from me.
Oh, the easy out? Are we actually like taking the things out?
Yeah. Right, Mike?
Sure.
Engine Mike. Bottom, top. So what we got here, these doors come pre-drilled for the hinge location.
Yep.
So that's pretty good because that could take quite a lot. So the next step is we stole these from the red doors, put them in, put one on top, one on bottom, fasten them from the back. There's many different ways you could do that when it comes to a fiberglass or carbon fiber door. Normally you want to get like a piece of aluminum that's the diameter or the size of the flat surface here, so that it could, you know, share the stress,
Spread out the
load,
clamping force or whatever.
Yep. Eventually I'll make a flat bracket, probably one that comes all the way down, because then we're also thinking of adding the factory door stoppers. But these are pretty intense when it comes with the spring load that it comes with them, so I might have to open them apart, change the spring, or cut the spring to make it less strong, or
Yeah. That shit would break the
easier.
door.
Yeah, Adam would love this.
Door
I think we all would love this, because when we work on the cars and then the doors just like closes on you.
That's great. Good job.
Yeah. 36 doors. The only the downfall is from running this. I mean, we could put a cotter pin on there. It's like the 36 door. If we gotta work on it at the track, we just like pick up the door and it comes right out, because they use the same kind of system. Having these will kind of keep you from being able to do that. But if you put a pin on there, then you could technically remove the pin. But yeah, that's the next step, and then the doors are fitted. Then we'll have Joshua or Ray do the final touch-ups on the door and get them ready for body. That's pretty good.
That's money.
Like without having.
Yeah.
So that's it. Other than doing those plates on the inside of the hinges. See, that's how easy it is to roll the door. As some of you might be wondering, we do carry these on Drift HQ. We got this directly from HEK. We are a HEK dealer. We happen to have a full container coming from HEK shipped to us with a lot of their parts. They build parts like that as well, like that's their center console piece for the A90, and they just don't make it for the A90. They make parts for S chassis, they make parts for BMW's E92. Duarte's E92 has a few other carbon pieces as well. It's nice because a lot of those things, let's say like these doors, you know, you go get them, but then you have to pay like shipping price, and when you're buying just individual pieces, it could be pretty costly. Having it here available and just local to us or in the States, that's a huge plus. I wish I would get them. I mean, they're not that expensive, but then you got Sean over there running to people's doors, then it'll be kind of costly to replace those doors. So
Yeah, he's literally recording, right?
I don't care. Yo, so here we got Sean started putting the S15 motor back together, and now we're not talking about that S15,
That one.
the yellow one. So one of the other goals that we have is to get that car ready for the Invitational as well. So Adam could have all the options he wants. Last year it kind of sucked because he only had one option and
It broke.
It broke. And then I was using the Z, so he didn't want to take it from me. I didn't want to give it to him. So yeah, Sean is working on that, getting this motor assembled, getting as complete as possible, so that we could throw it in, mainly him, get that car going, and possibly return a few laps in the compound on the Nico drop and
Yeah.
at the Invitational, maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
He wants to drive it at clutch kickers really hard.
That would be sick.
He won't let me.
But yeah, he's got pretty much
We're missing a lot of parts, so
From
we
the
ordered a lot of
leftovers.
parts, and they'll be here shortly.
Yeah.
Once they get here, and then we'll finish her up.
finish it up. We're gonna try the G40 turbo, see how he likes it. Less nitrous, smaller turbo. We want to make it to the Invitational with it, and we'll make it happen.
Oh yeah, you can see the difference.
We're moving on to the wide fat for the car. One of the main things we gotta do to the car is modify this wheel arch area and cut it out, make it so that the wheel it has a longer turning radius. While we're at it, we're gonna cut this out, make room for the wide fat kit, and then at the same time we're gonna start cutting the arch on the quarter panels. I've done this before on an S chassis, and it's a little bit of work, but it comes out pretty clean.
It's okay.
Wow, look.
Show them the thing.
All right, so
Bada bing.
bada bing, bada boom. Cut that out. Now we play this oh, beep, and move on to the next side. All right, so we're done cutting the wheel wells in the front. Now we're moving to the actual fenders of the car. So the hood is part of the fender, so the hood will get cut. Since we're keeping the stock gas tank and we're using the stock fuel cap, we cannot go as high as we would like to. Normally where we will try to cut as high as possible because there's still material there so that we can get the full travel of the car. It gives us about an inch and a half, 2 inches, 2.5 inches of extra travel. That will give us the space we need for the tire to travel.
Is it aluminum or aluminum? Is it radiator or radiator?
All right, we got all the arches cut. Now we get to the rear. Normally, the way you would do this, you would cut as high as possible, but because of the gas tank, we're limited to. But this is still a good amount. This metal is actually pre-applicable. So my idea is, normally you will see people cut this out and then they cut slits on it to make it pretty pliable. But
Yeah.
then you have to like weld the slits and glue and all that. The way I done it is I start hammering into it and tack it slowly as I hammer. So then I will tack it all along, run a couple of like 1-inch beads everywhere. Then I could cut it right after the weld and then do a seam sealer, and then it's clean. One of the things we had to do with the piece was put some like B-rolls on it. Luckily, we got a B-roller now. We sourced one out, we got it to do the rear differential cover. As I was doing that front section, it makes sense to use it on those, and it's pretty neat. So this is the first, like the test piece that I use to see how the profile that I would like to use. It comes with different dies that you put in place. This is to set your depth and how much pressure you put in the part. When you put a piece of bead like this, when you B-roll it, it strains the piece. It makes it stronger. So it makes sense to use it for the fender wells. I adjust it, and luckily this one is automated or it's electronic. It feeds it through. We put the piece over here, this piece over there, and then I ran 2 lines through there. So now this piece even welded to the car, it will be strong but itself. But with those 2 B-rolls there, it makes it even stronger. We got plans to
Johan says point.
done.
Done.
So, like we said, we're limited by the gas cap. We're keeping the stock gas tank. So, ideally, we would like to come as far as the old Fender, but this would be sufficient enough for what we're trying to do with the car. If it was an FD car, we'd cut the whole quarter panel, build an FD car. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too many FD cars. Yep, I'm done. Now we move on to the next thing.
It was so cool coming back and especially seeing this video, seeing all the stuff that the guys got done. Super productive week. Just to go in a little bit more detail, the G40 on the S15, I wanted to keep the same manifold that Johan made me, which was built for a G40 or a G42 because it sounded sick. So I moved down to a smaller turbo to have a little bit better response. It'll still make some good power, but there's no need for it to be making 1,200 horsepower when it's not being run in FD. Also super excited for this thing to rip. I don't know which I'm more excited for. I don't know which you guys are more excited for, but the goal is to have both of them running and operational for the Invitational, which we'll be announcing tickets for in the next week or 2. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. And tomorrow I will be back at you with, and in the next upload, I'll be back at you guys with some big news of some other stuff that's been going on and a lot of fun stuff. So see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed the video.
One can assume I take the tractor out. I use a forklift once in a while. Maybe even I'll use the scrubber. Michael, I like the scrubber.